What's going on, guys? It's me, Fan 2016 here, and today we have another model plane review for you guys. Today I'll be reviewing the GeminiJets 1/400 scale MESA Airlines Bombardier CRJ-900. This is a really nice model to have in my collection, and overall, the CRJ-900 model from GeminiJets looks very unique in its own way, so I'm not gonna waste further time with talking about this particular model itself and kind of giving you guys an introduction, because we already did that. And we're just gonna get started with the box right away. So as you can see, there's a different box design. It's smaller compared to your typical GeminiJets box size, but because this is a regional jet, this is the reasonable box size for that aircraft right there. So you got the GeminiJets logo right there, made for collectors by collectors. You got the CGI image of the aircraft, Bombardier CRJ-900 tells right there, MESA Airlines logo, 1/400 scale diecast small aircraft. Moving on to the sides, you got one side right here, another side, and then that's the right side, this is the left side. Here's the top side of the box. And then moving on to the back side of the box right here, you got the CGI image of the aircraft with the sky background. You got the GeminiJets logo right there. As well as the guest features right there, you got their bullet points. There's their social media pages right there. And this is a 2022 GeminiJets release as depicted on the 2022 GeminiJets copyright label right there. And I think this was released in September of 2022. And the item number of this model is GJASH 2031. So that's the box design right there. Overall, just your typical GeminiJets generic box design. Not doing really too special, but we'll move on to the model right away. So here is the model itself, looking very nice. And overall, I think GeminiJets did a really good job on the 1/400 CRJ-900 mold. So as you can see, looking very nice right there in 1/400 scale. So with that being said, let's get started with the review. As I pull up right here, so we're gonna get started with the front side. So you got the cockpit windows right there, you got the nose strip of the aircraft. I think GeminiJets did a good job on the CRJ-900's nose area right there. I mean, not as accurately perfect, but it still gets like the job done. You got the nose landing gear and the nose landing gear door containing part of the aircraft registration, 942. You got the L1 boarding door right there, a big L1 boarding door, which is like for the purpose of like the CRJ right there. And then here's, I'm guessing that's like the CRJ, I think that says operated by MESA Airlines, I guess. And then you got your various like radome details, pitot tube details, stack port details, and all your panels right there. Your window details also looks very nice. They're well printed as well on this model right here. Moving on to this side, kind of like in the middle section, you got your cargo doors right there. So the cargo bins are placed at the port side of the aircraft, which is the difference, probably like the main difference compared to like any other aircraft, because like they would always have the cargo door on the starboard side. Well, I think for most CRJs, they always have the cargo door on the front side of the aircraft. Well, not the front side, port side of the aircraft. Now, this aircraft actually has antennas. Now, GeminiJets had a couple of CRJ-900s that have antennas in 1/400 scale. From judging all these antennas, I do like the fact they added antennas on this model, but the downside to that, it's too big. So, the antennas are too big. And another downside to the model, as I can like pull it up right here, the gaps that are like here. So like as you can see, the gaps where the CRJ, like the antennas are inserted, are way too big. And yeah, they can like easily fall off if ever you're not careful. And yeah, that's kind of like the only downside to like the antennas on their CRJ molds. But I do love the fact that they added the antennas on this model right here. They also added antennas on the CRJ-900 from Lufthansa CityLink. So yeah. But I don't think that really lasts long, as the recent CRJ-900 they had, that did not came with it. That did not came with antennas. So, yeah, I hope they can do more of these in the future, though. Moving on to this side, you got your emergency exit doors right there, and then you got the cantilever wing of the CRJ alongside the winglet, which I think GeminiJets did a good job on like molding in the winglet of the CRJ. You also got your main landing gears right there. Moving on to some wing details. So let me just pull up some wing details and like focus again. So here's some wing details. You got your various cold soak fuel frost details. Well, not sure if you can see it, but you also got some aileron details, flap details, slat details, and all your other details right there, alongside your emergency exit indicators right there. And yeah, it's kind of like dusty because like I don't think I have been cleaning this model. I will need to clean it after this video, but yeah. And then moving on to the back area of the aircraft, so kind of like nearing the empennage. You got the US flag right there and the aircraft registration, which is November 942 Lima Romeo. And then you got your engines right there. I'm thinking these are CF34 engines, as like many of like the CRJs would. or mainly like regional jets. So that's kind of like the main engine type. So these are the GE CF34 engines right there. And then there's the aircraft's dorsal fin, which helps for stability while it's in the air. And then moving on to the empennage area of the plane, you got your, I'm guessing this could be like the aircraft's APU right there. Not sure where the APU door is on this aircraft, but still, I like the fact that there's an APU there, and like the detail is also nice too. And then you got the MESA Airlines logo right there, which I think GeminiJets did a great job on the putting on the logo. It might be a bit pixelated, but this is 1/4 on the scale, which is reasonable. And then you got the horizontal stabilizers at the very top of the tail, which represents the aircraft's T-tail. And then moving on to the front of the side, like the front side of the plane, as you can see, I think it looks nice overall. I think GeminiJets did a good job on it. You also got some nice fan blade details on the engine right there. And then moving on to the starboard section of the aircraft, so the main difference about the starboard side is the R door is much smaller compared to this, like the L door. So as you can see, a much smaller R door right there. And then you don't have any cargo bins as depicted earlier. They're placed on the port side. So there isn't really nothing much to go over the backside, but yeah, that's the design of the CRJ. Now as I give you guys a top view, so here's the top view of the aircraft. Overall, I think the top view looks very nice. And yeah, all the various details right there. Moving on to the bottom section of the aircraft, moving on to the bottom section of the plane. As you can see, the bottom section, nothing much, I mean, there's good detailing on the bottom. So, as you can see, you got your stand hole right there. You got the GeminiJets logo. And what I like about this model is the fact that the main landing gear are spaced out right there. So, this is what the CRJ-900 should actually look like in real life. The recent CRJ-900 release, which is the Delta connection, like CRJ-900, unfortunately that has closed-in landing gear, which I don't know why they actually made that, like, they added like closed-in landing gears on that model, but I mean, it is what it is. But this model, for example, depicts on what the CRJ's main landing gear should look like. So great work, GeminiJets, on that. Moving on to the starboard section, not really starboard, I already mentioned. Moving on to the front section, as you can see, so here's the front section. The horizontal stabilizers looks absolutely perfect, and they're well leveled and straight. Well, not really exactly straight, but they're accurate to like the real life aircraft right there. And then moving on to the back section, here is the back section of the plane right there. So overall, really good model in general. Now I did see some MESA CRJ-900 house liveries, but I think I've seen this one at DFW in 2023. But I'm not sure if it's the exact registration, but I've seen an all-white fuselage CRJ-900 in the MESA house colors while I was in DFW. But under that, really cool model, and I'm really glad to have it in my collection. Of course, these MESA CRJ-900s now operated for United Express, so they had like a contract with American before, and then that got already finished, so they got transferred into United Airlines now. So United will be having the MESA CRJ-900s from now on. Not sure when they're gonna have one in like United's current livery, but it might happen, but who knows. Well, under that, still a good model right there. And yeah, that's it for the review. Now let's go over the background information about this particular aircraft. So with that being said, let's go into the background information about this particular plane. Alright, now let's go over the background information about this MESA CRJ-900, registered November 9042 Lima Romeo. So let's get started with some information right here. So the manufacturer serial number is 15042. The aircraft type is a Bombardier CRJ-900, of course. The age of this aircraft is 19.3 years. The production site is in Montreal, Canada, YMX. Kind of took a while for me to say the airport code, like the airport code. And the airframe status says that the aircraft is stored, and this was last updated on May 18th of 2023. Now, as I look at the information about this particular plane, so this aircraft operated with MESA Airlines and was delivered back in July 2005, and it was configured until 2011. We configured it in 2011. Also, it was withdrawn from use on February 8th of 2022, and it's stored at the Tucson International Airport, or Tucson, Arizona, on February 9th of 2022. And kind of like at that same time, like same year, it's actually delivered to America West. So America West operated this aircraft by MESA Airlines, of course. And then after America West merged with US Airways in September 2005, she was then reconfigured. And then after US Airways ended up merging with American, that's now operating for American. And I think it was still under the MESA Airlines house livery until it was retired. And then yeah, she was then merged with this particular plane merged with American in 2013. And it did say in this one, it says it's operating for the Bank of Utah, and this aircraft was delivered in May of 2023. So it did say that the plane is stored, but I'm not sure if this particular plane now operates for the Bank of Utah. I'm not really quite so sure, but yeah, said something. The first flight date is unknown, and there's no test registration about this particular plane. So that's it for the history about this aircraft right there. So to give you my concluding thoughts, this is a good model from GeminiJets, and overall, I do like the fact they added in some antennas over here. So it's kind of like uncommon to see like a regional 1-for-1 model being like to be like fitted in with antennas. So this is kind of like news for GeminiJets, and I think they're like the first, or maybe Jace Wings had some like regional models with antennas. So technically, but I think this is the first time GeminiJets has ever fitted antennas on one of their models right here. But all I can really say, it's good. But I mean, it's good that they added antennas, but there's like a lot of flaws that come to it, because like the antennas are way too big. They're not really accurate in size in comparison of the CRJ-900 and 1/4 scale, and the gaps are a bit too big, which the antennas can really easily fall off. But other than that, it's still a good model, and overall I'm really glad to have it for my collection. Not sure when I'm gonna like feature this model in an airport update, but hopefully anytime soon. So that's it for today's video. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and turn on that post notification bell so you won't miss a video like this anytime soon. And if you want to see more of my model plane content, then you can click on our playlist, and you can check out all my model plane content from unboxings, reviews, and a whole lot more. So that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Anyways, good night.